Hi, I'm Joel Hamner with the law firm McCutcheon Hamner. We've been talking about what to do if I or a loved one are in a car accident. Well, now we're at that point where, we've been discharged home or the doctors have done with my treatment. There's nothing else can be done for me medically. Maybe I've been able to return back to work. Maybe I haven't. So what's the next step? Well, now what we're going to do for you as you're an attorney is this. We're going to order all your medical records. We're going to get all your medical bills in here. We're going to get the subrogation amounts, like I said earlier, from Blue Cross Blue Shield or Medicare, as the case may be. Then we're going to start evaluating your case. And what I mean by that is this: we're going to be looking at hard numbers and talking with you about what is the value of my case. Cases and the value of cases are different for everyone. Sometimes it depends upon the amount of insurance that's available from the person who caused the wreck. Sometimes it depends upon if you have underinsured or what we call uninsured motorist coverage. Now I want to talk to you just a minute about that. Underinsured or uninsured motorist coverage protects you in the event that the person that causes the wreck either A, doesn't have any insurance at all, or B, doesn't have enough insurance to satisfy all your losses. Here recently, and this has really been going on the last 5 years, I've noticed that I see more and more people that don't carry uninsured or, like we said, underinsured motorist coverage. And I'll tell you that that is the absolute most important coverage that you can carry because it protects you and your family or anyone riding in the car or truck with you who's been involved in an accident and it wasn't your fault. It's almost like having life insurance. In Alabama, we have what we call the mandatory $25,000 of liability limits. And what that means is simply this. If you're out here driving on our roads and you're running up and down our interstates, you're supposed to have, as an Alabama driver, a minimum of $25,000 in liability coverage. So if I cause a wreck, I'm supposed to have a minimum of $25,000 to help the person I injured with their losses. Well, I will tell you that in today's world, $25,000 is nothing, given the cost of health care these days. But here's the other problem I see. The problem with liability insurance, though, in this state is this: it's easy to get around it. And this is what people do. So you go to get your tags, you go to renew your license, you have to show proof of insurance. Well, what they'll do is this. They'll go to what I call one of these little strip mall insurance companies, and they'll get a policy, and they'll pay it for a month. They'll go get their tags, they'll go get their license, and then they just won't pay it again and their coverage lapse. So yet they're an uninsured driver. I see that every week in our office. And if you don't have uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage, you're left out in the cold. I tell people constantly, the best thing you can do for yourself and your family is to carry the maximum amount of uninsured motorist coverage that your insurance carrier will allow you to carry, because of the fact that the cost of medical care these days, lost wages, all those bills piling up can be satisfied and paid for by your own uninsured motorist coverage. The other thing is, it is the cheapest coverage you can have on your car by far. I think one of the reasons we've seen so many people now having policies where they don't carry uninsured motorist coverage is because so many policies these days are being purchased on the internet and they're not talking to an agent. Or maybe they're talking to the agent and the agent thinks, hey, we've got to have mandatory $25,000 in liability coverage. Why do you need uninsured motorist coverage? Well, I will tell you that, as I've said earlier, $25,000 is a drop in the bucket when you're looking at medical expenses, lost wages, co-pays, deductibles. It doesn't hardly cover anything. So when you get ready to renew your liability insurance, or maybe tonight, if you can get online and look at your policy and see, do I have uninsured motorist coverage or not? Go talk to your agent and say, look, I really need to add this to my policy.